Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2019 Jaguar F-Type. Now this F-Type is showing just over 10,000 original miles. If you'd like to see a high-resolution, detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll be taking you on a quick condition overview on both the interior and the exterior of this beautifully spec'd Jaguar, as well as showing you some of its most notable features. Now, of course, here on the exterior, the first thing to point out is the absolutely beautiful selection for the exterior paint. Now, this is Jaguar's take on the classic British racing green color, which of course has been a staple of British motorcar racing for decades. But this take on British racing green, if you will, has a lot of metallic, and it really adds so much depth to the paint. It's really mesmerizing, and you can catch so many different colors depending on the angle at which you view the car. I see a lot of blue metallic, there's some yellow, some pink, some purple, but it all is laid over this beautiful green base, and hopefully it comes through on camera, but here to the human eye, it just looks unbelievable. So as usual, I'll take you down the side of the vehicle really close to the panel so as to look for any dings or dents in the bodywork. See a beautiful glossy quality to the paint, and as we make our way to the rear quarter panel, it all looks very nice. Now, taking a look at the wheels here, of course, beautiful 20-inch wheels on the Jaguar. You'll find the interior of the wheel painted in a beautiful metallic gray, and the outermost faces finished in a gorgeous kind of shaved metal look with that bright red Jaguar emblem sitting nicely in the middle. You'll find no curb rash on any of the wheels on the vehicle. They all look phenomenal. And here on the front, it looks just the same, but here at the front, of course, you'll notice it's hiding some much larger brakes. Now, taking a look at the front fascia of the F-Type, one quick thing to note, the entire front end of this vehicle is covered in a PPF, otherwise known as a paint protection film, which does a great job of protecting the factory paint surface from any rock chips or even some major impacts from slightly larger bits of debris. So of course that's going to do a great job to protect the finish on your Jaguar, and even if the PPF film sees some damage, generally you'll find the paint underneath fares very well. Now, taking a look, you'll find this is the facelifted first generation F-Type, so you do have the kind of more sleek and aggressive looking headlight technology. I think they look phenomenal, and it adds a bit more of an aggressive look here at the nose. Looking at the paint condition, you'll find no major rock chips, and any of the imperfections that I've found on this front end of the vehicle are only confined to the PPF film. Here in the center grille area, you do have a beautiful chrome surround with a nice crossbar finished in that beautiful piano black that you see on the lower diffuser as well, or otherwise known as the front lip, you might say. Quick thing to note here on the outer edge of the kind of wheel liner here, you will notice just a couple scuffs, but these scuffs are certainly confined to the PPF film, as I mentioned before, so the underlying paint surface looks to be in beautiful condition. Under the wheel here at the front, wonderful shape, no curb rash to report. And as we take a walk back here on the passenger side, you'll find absolutely no dings or dents in the bodywork. And once you make it to the rear, you will notice another wheel in equally stunning condition. This is absolutely my favorite angle to view this paint. You can see many different colors just in one shot. You can see the way the light changes the appearance of the paint, where you have kind of a bluish, kind of dark green color on that flat panel on the top, but on these sides that are facing the sun, you get that amazing green shimmer to it. It's just unbelievable. Really should be viewed in person. Now, here at the rear of the vehicle, you will find a beautiful piano black diffuser panel, which shrouds these two massive chrome exhaust tips, which create quite a racket, and we're going to hear that in just a little bit. Now, some of the badging here at the back, you may be curious. See that P380 all-wheel drive badge? Might seem uncharacteristic for a vehicle that looks like this to have an all-wheel drive badge on it. However, Jaguar in the later years of the first generation F-Type did begin to put all-wheel drive drivetrains in them, but it still does retain that beautiful sporty driving dynamic that you would expect and hope for in a vehicle like this. Jaguar designed the all-wheel drive system to send around 80% of the power to the rear wheels, so you're still going to have that really nice light darty steering that you would expect from a rear-wheel drive vehicle. But then in a place here like New England, if the weather does get a bit rougher, you do have some front wheel traction to get you through some of the worst conditions. So next up, we'll make our way to the interior, where the spec only gets better. Now, quick note, you will see that as I unlock the door handles present themselves, showing a beautiful Jaguar emblem surrounded by some stainless trim. And looking into the interior, it's an absolutely amazing spec. You can see these gorgeous tan seats are in just phenomenal condition. It looks as though they've never been used. And of course, at only 10,000 miles, you would hope that they are in nice condition, and they do not disappoint. Making our way into the vehicle, first thing I'll do is fire it up for you. I'm going to leave the door open so we get a bit more of that audio from the rear of the vehicle. Now, as I push the start-stop button, you'll notice the top of the dash goes through a bit of a transformation. You can see the climate control vents are going to slowly rise out of the dashboard, as you see there, which is a pretty nice feature, and it looks very sleek when the vehicle's off. It drops those vents down. Very nice. Now, what I like to do here is a dynamic start on the Jaguar. So before I start the vehicle, when it is in just ignition mode here, I just reach down, flip this drive mode switch to dynamic. You'll see the exhaust light turn on. And then when I hold the brake and hit the start-stop button, you get quite the noise. Hopefully that comes through on camera. It's got a really aggressive bark as the vehicle starts up. And you'll see as I touch this exhaust button, the idle quiets down, gets a bit more friendly to the neighbors, if you will. So that's a really nice programmable feature here in the Jag. But taking a quick tour, you'll find the gauge cluster. Very simple, speedo and tech, and then some basic information there in the center. All very simple to use. On the steering wheel, which has a beautiful, thick, leather-wrapped bolstering on each side. It really feels great in the hand and promotes a sporty driving experience. You can find all the switches in perfect shape. Of course, as I mentioned with the all-wheel drive system, this vehicle is rather friendly to the inclement weather. You do have a heated steering wheel in the F-Type as well. And you can see the paddle shifters to select your gear just behind the wheel there, and they have a nice satisfying click to them on each up and down shift. As I mentioned, you have your somewhat active climate vents. Here in the center console, you will find your infotainment system is fired up. If I throw it in reverse, you will see a nice high-definition backup camera. Activates exactly as it should. Looking here at the climate control area, you do have your temperature controls for both driver and passenger, and then your fan controls in the center. However, if I push on this center dial, you will see your seat controls come on, and I can rotate to the left for your cooled seats and to the right, and to the right for your heated seats. Very cool feature as well. It's nice that they've kind of consolidated those two features into one switch. I really like the way they've achieved that. Really cleans up the look. You also have some basic switches, all of which are in very nice condition. And a quick tour of your center console area. Of course, you have your start-stop button, and then surrounded by this beautiful piano black trim, you do have a nice leather-wrapped gear selector. Just to the left of that, you'll find your drive mode selector. You do have normal, dynamic, and then snow, rain, inclement weather mode there if you push up. Volume and stereo controls, parking brake, then you have your traction control, and of course that active exhaust that I mentioned before, auto start-stop, and you also have a control to raise or lower the rear spoiler. You have this beautiful grab handle, which on the interior face is finished in that beautiful black leather with black stitching, and then on the other face, you'll find it finished in a gorgeous tan leather with white stitching. Kind of nice how they've kept the inside face here all black and gray tones, and then on the exterior, you'll find it matching the dashboard there for the passenger. Glove box is operated by that small stainless switch just there, and the door cards are especially beautiful here in the F-Type. You do have gorgeous white stitching, all of which is in wonderful shape, and all of your controls finished in black with a beautiful kind of stainless surround. You'll see there your Meridian sound system. The stereo in this Jag sounds unbelievable. It's really, really nice, a full sound. And of course, every vehicle deserves a wonderful sound system. It really does enhance the driving experience like few other things do. Personally, my favorite sound system in the vehicle relates to that exhaust button just there. Taking a look at the mirror, you'll find it frameless, just kind of a nice touch. And just above my head, you will find a gorgeous panoramic sunroof, which can be shuttered using this shade just above my head, and it can kind of close out the interior. But if you want that natural light, of course, it is an option. So next up, I'm going to make my way under the hood, and we're going to take a look at the gorgeous power plant for the F-Type. So as we make our way under the hood, usually you'd see me approach the front of the vehicle, but the Jaguar, like a few other British cars, actually hinges the other way. So there's no latches to play with. All you do is pull that interior unlock, and then it folds ahead and has 2 pistons to support it, which work perfectly. Hood's not going to fall over. It's very sturdy. Now, taking a look at the beautiful 3-liter supercharged V6 powering the F-Type. Now, as you saw that P380 badge on the rear of the vehicle, that 380 relates to the power. This does deliver exactly 380 horsepower. And while this vehicle is available with a supercharged V8 as well, I find the V6 gives you a lot of that wonderful driving experience you'd expect from an F-Type. The brutal sound and the dramatics coming out of the exhaust. But you still have a nice, efficient motor that has plenty of power to enjoy the vehicle. And, in my opinion, far fewer headaches as opposed to the V8 model. You can hear it idling very smooth here. You can see even the engine bay is finished in that beautiful British Racing Green metallic. And all of the plastics, really nice reservoirs look great. All the hardware is just the same. This engine is very torquey down low as well. Going to close the hood down. I like to reach over to the center. Just give it one good push. Locks down without any problems. Now, real quick, let's take a look at your cargo capacity here in the Jaguar. Another really nice feature. It's unlocked. Oh, I think it wants me to just push the button manually. I think I was hitting the wrong button on the key, my bad. As you can see, the hatch opens up. This is technically a hatch as it is hinged above the rear glass. It's a really sizable trunk actually for a vehicle in this segment. You'll find we do have a nice set of the original carpets with that beautiful matching leather to the interior and that same stitching, all with these Jaguar metal emblems to be found there. And we also have some all-weather mats for the vehicle as well. As you saw, the tailgate is power operated up, and using this button just here, it is power operated down just the same. Latches down without a problem. So if you have any further questions related to this Jaguar F-Type, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you'll find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.